You've heard the term a million times, right? Weight bearing, from doctors, physical therapists, you name it. But what does it actually mean? Well, it turns out this simple idea is one of the most important pressure tests your body takes every single day, and it has massive implications for your health. So let's really dig in and see what's going on. And that right there is the big question. When you're injured, should you really stay off your feet? If you want to build stronger bones, is running actually better than swimming? The answers are often pretty surprising, and they reveal just how brilliantly our bodies are built to handle all kinds of pressure. So here's the plan for our journey today. We're going to start with the basic pressure principle. Then we'll see how doctors use that pressure to literally look inside the body. We'll get into the controversial recovery dilemma, discover the amazing benefits of bearing weight, and finally, we'll check out how modern joints are engineered to be built for the burden.
Okay, let's start at square one. What are we even talking about when we say weight bearing? What's actually happening inside your bones and joints the moment you decide to just stand up?
It's really as simple as it sounds. Weight bearing is any time you're supporting your own body weight against the pull of gravity. I want you to think of your skeleton as the steel frame of a skyscraper. This is the load that frame was designed to hold up. But here's the critical part. This isn't a passive thing. That pressure actively signals your body and changes what's happening inside. And this slide breaks it down perfectly. On one side, you have weight-bearing activities. Your skeleton is under load. On the other, you're non-weight bearing because something else, like the water in a pool or a chair, is doing the supporting for you. This simple difference, this contrast, is the key to, well, everything else we're about to get into. So we get the what. Now for the why it matters so much. Because it turns out the simple act of standing up can be one of the most powerful diagnostic tools a doctor has. It's like putting the body through a real-world stress test to see what's really going on under the hood. I mean, imagine this. You get an X-ray while you're lying down on a table. Everything might look totally fine, but the second you stand up, the force of your body weight can suddenly reveal problems that were completely invisible just a moment before. A joint space might get narrower, bones might shift. The true picture only comes into focus when it's under pressure. And just look at these examples. For knee arthritis, a scan taken while you're standing reveals the actual joint space, not some idealized version. For an unstable kneecap, you get to see how it really behaves when you're on your feet. Even in the spine, you can see vertebrae that were hidden before. In every single case, applying that pressure gives doctors the real story. It's the difference between guessing and knowing. Now, this brings us to a huge and kind of controversial dilemma in medicine: recovery. For literally decades, the go-to advice after a big injury or surgery was just rest. Don't move it. But what if that's not always the best move? Let's make this real. Take a super common injury, a fractured ankle. Your first instinct, and your doctor's old school instinct, would be to keep every ounce of weight off it for as long as possible. But modern research is starting to question that whole idea, and it all began with a simple X-ray. This number is just wild. Researchers found that when patients who had a fractured ankle were asked to stand up for a weight-bearing X-ray, they weren't just gently touching their toe to the ground. On average, they were putting 63% of their body weight on that supposedly fragile, broken joint. And you know what? It was fine. This accidental discovery pretty much changed everything. So the thinking became, hey, if patients can handle that much weight by accident for a scan, what if we tried it on purpose in rehab? And the answer, it turns out, is a huge yes. We now have studies showing that getting some early, controlled weight on an injury can actually speed up recovery, cut down on stiffness, and improve function after all kinds of things, from ankle fractures to ACL surgery. It seems controlled pressure isn't the enemy of healing at all. It might just be a crucial part of it. Okay, so if a little bit of pressure can help us heal, what can it do to keep us healthy and strong in the first place? This is where we shift gears from recovery to how we can proactively use this principle in our everyday lives and exercise. So weight-bearing exercises, like running or lifting weights, those are a direct message to your body that says, hey, we need stronger bones over here. On the flip side, non-weight-bearing exercises like swimming are fantastic for your heart and lungs without all that impact. So it's not about which one is better. It's about choosing the right tool for the right job. And the data backs this up big time. Look at this. When you compare patients after they've had a total hip replacement, the group that did weight-bearing exercises saw way more improvement. I mean, significantly more in reducing their overall disability compared to the group that just did non-weight-bearing stuff. The specific stress on that new joint was actually the key to making it work better in the real world. And here's another incredible benefit. For people dealing with knee arthritis, these same exercises were way better at improving something called proprioception. You can think of that as your body's internal GPS. It's your brain's sense of where your limbs are without you having to look at them. And why does that matter? A better internal GPS means better balance, more confidence, and fewer falls. That's a huge deal. So all of this brings us to our final stop, the absolutely incredible world of medical engineering. How in the world do we design and build artificial joints that can handle the millions of steps, jumps, and twists we're going to throw at them over a lifetime? I mean, these things aren't just simple hinges you'd find at a hardware store. We are talking about highly sophisticated devices built from space-age metals and super durable polymers. And they are all engineered with one primary goal in mind: to bear your weight and withstand millions upon millions of steps for decades. And what's really cool is that engineers have different philosophies on how to do this. You can think of a fixed bearing implant as being like a super simple, incredibly durable hinge that's all about rock-solid stability. Then you have the mobile bearing implant, which has a little plastic cushion that actually moves, trying to mimic the natural gliding motion of a real joint. Each one has its pros and cons, and the right choice really depends on the patient. And this quote just nails it, doesn't it? You can test these implants in a lab all day long, but the real proof, the ultimate test, is how they hold up inside a human body, day after day, year after year, under the constant pressure of real life. So as we start to put all these pieces together, it becomes really clear that the decision to bear weight or not isn't just a simple yes or no. It's a really complex calculation. It depends on what the diagnosis is, the specific type of injury, what the goal of your exercise is, and maybe most importantly, you as an individual. And this right here is the key takeaway from everything we've talked about. The question is never, is pressure good or bad? It's a fundamental force our bodies were literally built to handle. The real science, the real art, is in figuring out the right time, the right amount, and the right person to apply it to. Which really just leaves us with one final thought for you to take with you. From the moment you stand up in the morning to the type of exercise you choose to do, your body is constantly managing and responding to this pressure. It is a system that was designed for a load. So the only question left is, what burden are you asking yours to bear?